Thank you guys for coming. So we're going to first start with our presentation on affordable housing in informal settlements, and then we'll go on to the theme for our part talk for today, which is designing for the future. And we have two exciting presenters today, and you'll see them once they arrive. So first of all, I'd like to just welcome the team that's going to be presenting today. That is Natasha, James, Karen, and Cynthia.
My name is Natasha. I'm a second year student. And
okay, good morning. My name is James Sirengo. I'm your host.
Morning, guys. My name is Karen, and I'm a 3.1 student, and this is our presentation on affordable housing.
okay, so as she has said, today we'll be presenting to you about affordable housing in informal settlements. And we're going to start by explaining to you the definition of the topic so that we understand what we are talking about. This is a housing that a household can pay for while still having money left over for other necessities like food, transportation, and healthcare. Informal settlements.
So in the informal settlement, the definition of it means a place in an urban or rural areas used for residential purpose in respect in which physical address or street particulars are not officially assigned. These places are such as slums, shanty house, and also quarters.
Okay, challenges faced by informal settlements. These are lack of basic services. I know one of us will tackle that. Poor sanitization, poor waste management, and poor housing condition, which I'll basically talk about that.
So causes of people living in informal settlements. This is basically why do people live in slums? What takes them there? The first one is population growth. Kenya, we are growing daily, but the space is not growing. Our land is not growing. So as we continue to procreate, the land remains the same.
So the other one is overcrowding. These places is such as slums. Let's take an example of Mathare area. You can see that those places, mostly the slums, they are overcrowding. This mostly it's cause, an example of it, it's cause of unemployment. So this is one of the causes of people living in the informal settlements.
Okay, lack of affordable housing. Okay, sorry to tell, this is Nairobi, this is Kibra, and everyone is aware of that. But this is the city, and this is where we are having town planners. So as you can see, that is what town planners can give us as a fruit of Nairobi. So in our recommendation, we came up with an idea that I will show you up shortly how I recommended the use of ship containers as a starting point for affordable housing for the middle and the lower class.
Yes, so the others, rural to urban migration, why Nairobi people are many compared to in the rural areas. You can even use an example of COVID. During the time of COVID, many people lost their jobs, were trying to come and hustle in Nairobi, and they didn't have places to stay in. Weak government policies, that's a trend in Kenya by our government. They take your land, they don't give you a place to stay in. That's just how they are. Economic vulnerability is low-paying jobs. You find our houses have a price that 7K, 8K, that's like the cheapest you find a bedsitter in. Yes, there are houses of 800, but there's someone who can't even pay that 800 shillings. So, economic vulnerability. These ones I'll go through very fast. We discussed them in our seminar 2.1, 2.2, and 3.1. But because of time, this was just to help us understand what have other countries done to help people with slums. And in other countries like South Korea, they have made apartments and officetels. Officetels in South Korea is whereby they have joined together an office and a hotel, and it's small and pretty and just gives you a space. This one here, this one is a villa. Sorry, I didn't add it. It's small in South Korea, and they are like, you find like there are 3 villas, and here it's just someone with their own money who has taken it out of their goodwill to make a house for someone who doesn't have. And yeah, but the villas are the ones which people mostly are using in South Korea. So you can be living next to your landlord, but you're not really paying them rent, very little. So that's how they've managed the people who are homeless in South Korea. Then in Russia, they decided to look at their economy as a country, and they decided the best way they could help their citizens is by reducing the housing prices so that everyone can be able, or at least people can be able to afford the houses. To reduce like the rent of like a 2-bedroom apartment, say in Kenya, 15K, you reduce it to like 7,500. They decided to do something like that. They also decided to decrease mortgage interest rates. You know, when you own a house, you have to pay mortgage. So if you as a house owner, it's becoming difficult for you to be able to pay the mortgage, you can't be able to even have the money to create a villa or to sponsor someone else if you're struggling financially. So they decided to, for those of those owning houses, they decided to decrease their mortgage rates. There is Hungary. They started something called social housing. Here they renovate houses for the homeless. If the people of this country, Hungary, were in Kenya, they would go to a place like Kibera, where there are shanty houses, and they would renovate your house for you. People living in, you have made your house out of polythene papers. You've seen those stories in the slums, very common here in Nairobi. So they go, they renovate for you, they give you a house. If you have land, say you've seen these people who, your father has left you land, but you're living in a shanty house. Like you have someone living in a single mabati house, yet behind the house is like a large maize plantation. You've seen such things. So the person has the land, but the person doesn't have what he or she requires to make an affordable, decent stone house. So what the country of Hungary does, it provides for you the building materials. It even gives you the labor, the people who are going to build for you, and they create for you a house to live in. So those are the 2 ways that they have done it. And we'll now move to the recommendation. After looking at the causes, why are people living there, and the biggest problems, as interior designers, what do we recommend to be done in such areas?
So I'll take the part of waste and water management and sanitation. So in our first point, we have water, sanitation, and waste management condition improved through provision of stormwater drains, communal water and sanitation for stormwater drains. In this one, it means like, I'll take an example. Let's say there's heavy rain. When there's heavy rain, let's take apart like the slums. How do you manage that stormwater rains? Like the use of water gutters, the use of these drainage systems where you can help reduce the water that makes the place floody. So that's the first point, what it means. In the second one, initial small scale door-to-door waste collection and initial small-scale door-to-door waste collection. In this one, example still on the slums, we can say that when you have like your waste, instead of throwing them away like outside, why can't we form a way that the community or the people living around can just collect those waste and put them in one place instead of throwing them away? So that's what it means. So the other one is support the community to enhance accessibility to water and sanitation to improve their management. In this one, we can see like the community, like an example is the people like, let's say the Cape Tail, see the people who handle like water in every region. So they come like, they help, how do you like access water instead of using unhygienic water, dirty water? How can you be able to use clean water to help your community? That comes in the part of where the government can assist the community to have clean water. The other one is burning trash and converting it into energy. Like example is Germany, where most of their trash is not burned down, but where they collect all the trashes, like in a week, like let's say here in Westlands, all the trash are taken and they are taken, let's say, to a certain factory where they are burned down. So when they are burned down, instead of just making it ash, they make that waste into energy that helps in the factory area. So that's our recommendation.
Okay, this is my recommendation. And it once happened, it was last year, whereby FIFA or the management of football came up with a project of starting a stadium with shipping containers. And they give out the reason, and even they give out an application letter from any country that feels shipping containers may be recycled or used as a home. But I think no country in Africa show up. So this is what FIFA did. They came up, first of all, in Qatar, you understand it is a desert country. So FIFA came up with a plan. They know that not all the hotels and restaurants in Qatar will enable to accommodate everyone who traveled to Qatar to attend the event that was happening, which was the World Cup. So they came up with a project that establishing the shipping containers home, as you can see there. So those are the shipping containers, and they were modified to some few units, whereby they had, it was a bathroom, it has a bed, it has a small dining room, but everyone was enjoying, and even they were more exciting than going to the restaurants. As you can see, those are the planning of the shipping containers, how they have been aligned in a good environment. As you can see, I know everyone is admiring for that, but when you insert this project into Kenya, no one will be aware, or no one will be so excited for that. But that is what did happen to Qatar. As you can see, the reason why they do that, because of reusing containers to build homes and ensuring the information of housing cooperatives, use of the recycled and sustainable materials, recycling plastic wall balls and recycling plastic door frame, exporting to other countries. So this was an opportunity as Kenyans. We could come up with this project. Imagine that was Kibera. Okay, let's take this view from Qatar. Take it to Kibera. We need to be looking as a slum. Everyone will be so excited visiting Kibera. But now we are given a chance. No one come up with a chance to come up and at least coming this unit. These units are, okay, as you can see from the perspective of the views, it had like almost six phases. This phase 1, phase 2, and phase 1, it almost accommodates 3,000 people. And in one line, there are 2 pairs. As you can see, in a pair, they all have like 8 doors, whereby it can one unit can accommodate a family. Remember, I didn't show you the interior of it, but I will show you at the last moment, whereby they designed 2 beds, even they can feed a family. So this is what the project we were we are still initiating about it, so that when we come up with this project, I think Kibera, Madare, and all these slums, it will be a better position to at least to start as a starting up for the project of initiating this affordable housing. Thank you.
So lastly is lack of basic services. I'll take you through that. There is provide basic infrastructure such as gutters, paved footpaths, and public toilets. You've all heard of the flying toilets, right? So in Kibera, when they don't have a place to go use the washroom, so they do whatever they do in polythene papers and they throw it everywhere, making it not sanitary. And we recommend that at least, even if it is building, like he has said, the containers, at least put one container that is like a public washroom for gents and female. If you cannot be able to create in each container a bathroom, whatever. You've seen the public toilets here in town. You pay 20 shillings, you use. You can do that in a place like Kibera so that we can stop having the situation of public toilets. And then the paved footpaths. There is so much mud in Kibera. Before you even enter, you just look at it, there's sewage, it just looks bad. You don't want to walk there. So if you have a paved footpath, it makes it look neat. Providing household power connection in conjunction with Kenya Power and Lighting Company. That one, I'll explain it with a country that decided to use the term of social housing, let's say like Hungary, where they took it upon themselves out of their own pocket and decided, you know what, we are going to renovate for people, the homeless, their houses. Here in Kenya, we know these people can't afford to get a house or to even somewhere to live in. So how do you expect them to have money to pay for water and electricity bills? You see? So the Kenya Power and Lighting Companies can come together out of their own pocket and agree, you know what, we are going to supply electricity for the people of Kibera without them having to pay us. The construction of a low volume road, the construction of a low volume road. This means like try and make the roads in Kibera. When you're going to Kibera, like you don't even know where to pass. You don't know where is for the passenger, where is for the piki, where is motorbike, where is for the cars and all that. Like try and make, even it doesn't have to be a wide road. You know what I'm saying? But try and make it look like a road so that someone knows this is a road and this is a place for pedestrians and such, so that things like accidents, theft in the night cannot happen. You go to Kibera, you don't know, anywhere can be a road. Anywhere, a small place where the motorbike can pass, it becomes a road for them, even if it is between you and your neighbor's house, you see. So those are the kind of things we are trying to avoid in our recommendation. Support the community to venture into new income generation and job opportunities. This the government of Kenya can do, because as much as we are saying that the Kenya Power and the Lighting Company should get it out of their own pocket, they can't do that all the time. They also have families, they also have needs. They can't take care of you all the time. So come up with creative job opportunities, new generation opportunities, something that the people of Kibera can sit down and say, this is unique in Kibera that cannot be done in other places, and this can bring us jobs and something like that. They start it as a community. It could even, they can decide to do a chama as a community, where they collect money per village or per whatever, and then they decide we are going to get into this business, selling of clothes, this, and get returns. It helps them so that they don't have to keep sponsored all the time. They're being sponsored. Establish a community information and communication technology center. Most of the people in the slums are not informed. For example, in Kenya, one of the steps they have taken for affordable housing, there is Boma Yangu, there is the Nyumba Kumi initiative. The people of Kibera don't even know such things. They are not informed. So they're just in the dark. They don't know that they can get out of those slums. And that is one of the major reasons as to why they are there. You grew up, you found your mom there, you're going to raise your kids there, that's the life you know. You're not informed that there is a life other than that. So that's why we recommend that they establish a community information and communication technology, someone to come talk to them and explain to them that you guys, there's a life out there, you can do this if you want to get out of the slum, the government can help you if you have an ID and all that. So we are going to show you photos of, we've shown you how we recommend them. We're going to try and show you photos of how we wish the places could look like inside the apartments that we are recommending to be built as interior designers. The area of Kibera is about 2.86 kilometers squared, and it has like 700,000 people living in it. So there, if we take the logic of James of creating containers, so you see we'll have to create many containers. But if you put like an apartment like this one, where you can have many people living at the same time, it will save on cost, even for you who's trying to help them, and you'll be able to kill two birds with one stone. Basically, you help many people and it's budget friendly for you. So this is how we were picturing it looking inside. You don't have to do something fancy for them. Just give them a place to sit and eat and a place to sleep. That's all. Because we have noticed in the places they have created in Boma Yangu, we were being told that yes, they have given them a place to stay, but how it's looking inside, it just looks like a prison cell. You know the way a prison cell, you just have a place to sleep. It looks like umetupwa huko ndani, you've just been thrown there. So give them something to make them feel like they are also human beings. It motivates them a lot. By the way, as interior designers, where you should know that how you design a place can affect someone psychologically. It can give someone the motivation to live and to even do work and want to get out of the situation they're in. So just give them a decent place. If that is too wide, maybe something like this. It can be a small place. Give them a bed, give them somewhere to eat, like a desk or something like that. And so that they can feel they have also been helped and they have a decent housing. That's all we had for our presentation today. Thank you.
Let's clap for them once again. I think they have done a very elaborate job on covering affordable housing, right from the current situations in the slum areas like Kibera, Mathare, Dandora, and then they have shown us examples of how you can use alternative building materials, for example, the containers, in delivering housing. And then they have also shown us something futuristic of what dignified housing should look like and what we should strive to provide for the low-income households in Kenya. So they have done a very good job. And us as designers, as interior designers, we work in teams that are trying to solve issues in society.